Greetings and welcome back, gentlemen and ladiesmen, to another fantastic episode of Exo Plays, a level that takes him a full hour of recording time. And if you combine it with the 15 or so minutes I spent for the part before that fucking glitch happened, I don't know, we've probably been here for like an hour and a half. We'll probably end up being here for an hour and a half before we get to leave. It's like Abby was talking in the comments about how poorly paced this game is. And you know, with like Honey Marsh or something like that, I don't really agree with that. But with this level, abso-fucking-lutely. This level is just a pacing nightmare. I cannot believe there's no way this level was play-tested. There's no way. I refuse to believe that, if that is the case. But I digress. I guess we're just gonna kind of run our way through, because I can't think of a faster way to do this. We can use this to get up to the upper level and see if we can't find that gem again. Like, it really should not be possible for gems to fall off platforms, but I've said that a million times at this point. I'm sure you all agree. Oh no, I can't go back up that way. So I really do have to go all the way back to the beginning of this little area and climb all the way around, because fuck this level. God, I remember one of the early comments from like part 1 telling me like, I doubt you can keep up the sarcasm for the whole playthrough, and I was like, nah fam, it's gonna be alright. But like at this point, after having been playing this level for like an hour, it's just, God, it's like, he was right. That commenter was right, whatever your name was. And then I died again. Now I'm back at the fucking pool again, because fuck this game. Alright, I'm going to pause my timer, and we are going to fast forward. Oh my god, I do not want to talk to you. Like, honestly, fuck off. If I wanted to talk to you, I would have pressed the Y button, okay, game? I was not pressing the Y button, I was dashing past him when you so rudely interrupted the flow of the game to have that character say something of no importance. Thanks for that. Are you kidding me? This level is fucking cancer. Alright, we're back, finally. So the last thing we have to do in this level, supposedly, assuming everything's gone right, is use this key here, open this chest, and there will be a dragonfly inside of it. So that's the last dragonfly in the stage. So all we got left is gems. Hopefully that makes... No, like we're missing 3. And it's like the guys I was looking for didn't come back. I mean, I guess... Okay, so there's one of the gems I missed, at least. So... I don't know what that means. I don't know if, like, the one that I'm... Because I know I definitely missed more than one barrel guy. Definitely knocked more than one of them off the ledge, so I don't know what that means. And it can't be one of these green guys because, you know, I only need one more gem. So I legitimately do not know what it is I'm missing precisely. So I guess the best idea I could come up with is just make another fucking lap through this level and see if I can find it. So I'll be right back. finally, we are done with fucking Thieves Den. Thank fucking God. Let's get the fuck out of this piece of crap level. Honestly. God, was that bad. And if you don't know why by this point, after all that ranting I did, I don't know what else I could say about it. Thankfully, we're done. We are done with Thieves Den. I never want to play that level again. Oh God, I'd rather play Time Machine Lab again. I don't know. Maybe not. But thankfully, that is the worst of the game gets, in my opinion. Like, the final boss is pretty bad, but I know, I'd much rather fight the final boss than play that level again, so I guess, yeah. So we have one more stage to go, ladies and gentlemen, before we are done this video game. And that is Jurassic Jungle. So we'll go over there and talk to Professor Mouse real quick. With his amazing voice.
Hooray! My contraption is working! Step right in and it will transport you somewhere really cool. At least, I think it will.
I think that's Frank Welker. That sounds like Frank Welker. I'd have to look it up to know for sure, but I'm sure that Victor is in the comments going, "Exo, you fucking idiot, rant number 5. Of course it's Frank Welker. How could you not know that?" Because that's what he does. He makes big rants in the comments. But yeah. So, this is Jurassic Jungle. In my opinion, it's actually a pretty fine level. It is a much, much, much better level than Thieves Den, and it's actually possible to have fun while playing it, so I guess we'll get to hear the setup real quick.
Aha, Spyro! The R1000 and the T-Rex 1000s have escaped from their inescapable cages and are running amok through the jungle. Please stop them before they destroy the rest of the science labs and all of our research.
No problem. But say, what's a R1000 something something?
Oh, well, to put it in simplified terms that even a dragon can understand, they're mechanically enhanced nanotech propulsion-oriented riptocs, which we've been working on here in our labs. Quite the state-of-the-art, I might add. But
Oh, really? And how exactly would I go about destroying these things?
well, we did find a flaw in the R1000 models when they were exposed to sub-zero temperatures. Perhaps that information will come in useful.
No problem. I have just the right breath to chill them out.
Great! On the other hand, the T-Rex 1000s are quite vulnerable to electricity. Yet we've not been able to get close enough to them to zap them with an electrical charge.
So despite what Professor Mouskowitz just said, he kind of looks like Papa Mouskowitz from the American Tail movies, just a little bit. He kind of looks and sounds like him. Yeah, so we have these cavemen too, but they were never at all mentioned by that guy, surprisingly. They're like these caveman riptocs, which is such a strange idea. Like caveman-style dinosaurs? Such a strange idea. But as you can see, the plot for this level is kind of Terminator by way of Jurassic Park. You can see that they have the Jurassic Park fences and the level's about dinosaurs. But later on, we're going to be fighting liquid metal riptocs. And like the name R1000 is literally just, you know, Terminator nomenclature. So, yeah. But, you know, compared to Thieves Den, there's no equivalent to the shitty pool room, for one thing, so that's a big step upwards. I enjoyed playing the minigames more. I mean, I guess it kind of has that same problem with, like, having areas that have, like, 5 levels that you have to collect a bunch of shit on. Which, you know, kind of slows things down, but, you know, other than that, you know, pretty solidly designed for the most part. Like, I had more fun fighting the enemies in this level because they don't have the shitty wizard riptocs that you have to use your fucking wing shield on to get a Dragonfly, so, you know, all's well, I suppose. I don't know, it's still not what I would consider like the best level in the game, but you know, it's visually much more interesting. The music is way more enjoyable to listen to. I think it's just by far a much better stage. Can I move the camera, please? Thank you. Like, this level even has a puzzle, which I remember my brother and I being like flabbergasted at when we played this on Zebros like 4 years ago. Because like we were just so used to the tedium at that point, like it had all just kind of sunken in, that the fact that there was something that required even a modicum of brain power to process was kind of interesting. But this professor here will explain it.
Gems. Still fresh. 3 days. They're following us. Hey, Spyro, I've been studying this temple and it's quite fascinating.
Oh yeah? How so?
Well, I believe that these strange drawings on the walls are a clue to something hidden away in this temple. But I can't quite decipher them yet. Yes, and from what I've been able to decipher, it seems that the gems on the statues inside react to heat. Perhaps you can figure out the rest, Spyro.
Okay, I just had kind of an epiphany just now while I was ignoring what that guy was saying. Don't worry, I did practice playthrough, so I know how to solve the puzzle he was talking about, but if you remember back to Spyro 3, you'll remember that there were 151 baby dragon hatchlings from that game, because the 150th egg had twins inside of it. There were, you know, 2 dragons, I believe they were named Yin and Yang. So there are 151 of them. However, in this video game, we are only going to be rescuing 90 dragonflies. And if you recall the little festival at the beginning of the game, the whole point of it was all these baby dragons that hatched in Spyro 3 were getting their own dragonfly, just like Spyro. So it's kind of like, okay, you're missing 60 dragonflies, even if you get 100%. So it's like, okay, it's kind of annoying. That's kind of bad, as they would say. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they were originally gonna have 151 dragonflies in the game, but when Universal came down their head and said, hey, make the game in 5 minutes, they didn't have time, so that all just kind of went out the window. Not really sure, but so yeah, basically how this puzzle works is, as you can see, on the walls there are these pictures of these gems. And basically it's telling you the order that you need to flame them. So first is red, then it's green over here, then it's blue, if I can fucking flame it, then it's purple, and then it's yellow. And once you do that, it will release a dragonfly from that statue. So I don't know how that, evidently this statue puzzle has been here for quite some time. I don't know what a dragonfly is doing in it. I really could not tell you what a dragonfly is doing in it, so. But regardless, we have captured Scarlet, who is not nearly as cool as Urza Scarlet, but I'll take it, As you can see, there are a couple gems resting on the legs of those statues over there. So we'll go ahead and... Oh, and make sure you don't miss these guys, or you're gonna be coming back for them. So yeah, this room, I guess, is gonna be kind of annoying. Like, it's kind of equivalent. It's kind of equivalent to the pool room, but the checkpoint placement is much better in this level. And I don't find myself dying due to bullshit nearly as often, so... Yeah, so that, it's... I don't know, I guess I was never annoyed. I was never annoyed by the stage nearly as much. You just gotta love the fucking dragonfly. Good lord. Yeah, I mean that's really all I've got to say about this level, so might as well talk about this. so I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for me to do it. That is, if I have not already spoken about it in the Season of Ice playthrough. Like, me, TGX, and Abif have a discussion about this in the Season of Ice playthrough, but if you haven't been keeping up with that, there was an announcement recently regarding the new remake trilogy for Spyro. You know, the Reignited trilogy by Toys for Bob, published by Activision. There was an announcement recently that it's kind of confusing as to what exactly is the case, so don't get on my case on this point, okay? Either only the first game will be fully ready on the disc to play out of the box. Like, if you buy a physical copy, I mean. Like, if you go to the store and buy a physical copy of Reignited Trilogy on PS4 or Xbox One when it comes out, the Switch version in the PC version, we're basically all but confirmed at this point, but those will not be releasing at launch with the other two versions that have already been officially confirmed so far. If you buy those discs, only the first Spyro game will be playable right away. Either because it's the only one on the disc, period, or because Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 are on the disc, but require a massive patch to play. And as you might imagine, that's been controversial, because it's kind of Activision just sucks. And it's a shame that they have to own Spyro and Crash. And, you know, they were the reason that nothing really happened with Crash for so long, because they just refused to do anything with it until Sony basically offered to pay for the development of the Insane Trilogy, and, you know, created like that 1-year deal before it could go multi-plat. Like, that's the reason that game was made, is because Sony kind of said, here's some money, go make it. We'll support this if you're willing to make it. And it's only because that game sold well that Spyro's getting a remake, but it's just like, Activision is like one of the... God, I want to say that they're the worst, but EA is probably the worst publisher out there right now. Just in terms of making really rushed, crappy games, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skateboarder 5 is the name of the game, I believe. Way back in the day, Tony Hawk was relevant. He was a skateboarder who was really famous, and so Activision made a deal with them to produce a bunch of skateboarding video games that were actually pretty popular for quite a long period of time. As with anything, Tony Hawk eventually became irrelevant, and nobody cared about him anymore, and they stopped making those games regularly. But then, our license agreement is expiring with Tony Hawk. And we got Rhett.
Hey, it's Karen.
Karen? I don't think that's how you pronounce that name, buddy. Maybe that's Rhett's preferred name. But I digress. Well, I digress from my digression is the point. We're Activision. We have not made a Tony Hawk game in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years at this point. And our license with Tony Hawk is going to expire. What should we do? I know, we'll make Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. But this game is too big and complicated to be completed before the license expires, and it will be illegal to publish the game. We'd have to renew our license agreement with Tony Hawk if we were to publish the game after that date. So here's what we'll do. We'll take this incomplete video game, stick it on a disc, and publish it before the license expires, and then have the people who bought the game download a 50 gigabyte patch so that the game is actually playable. This happened. Activision did this, and the game was crap, if you can believe it. So this is the publisher that owns Spyro and Crash now. These are the people who own Spyro and Crash. it's just like, good lord. I'd almost rather that Sony just bought them at that point. You know what I mean? Because at least if Sony owned them, you know, we'd get finished products. You know what I mean? And stuff like having only one game on the disc would not be a problem. But, you know, that is... I can't think of any good reason why they can't just have all 3 games on the disc at launch. If this is an issue of day 1 patches, does the game really need to come out that specific day in September?
Gosh darn it! Those blasted R1000s destroyed my lab and ran off with my equipment!
Hello?
Oh, hey Spyro. Say, I don't suppose you could help me get my equipment back, could you? Great! Thanks, Spyro! Well, you see all those R1000s out there? They borrowed my equipment. All I need you to do is to get it back for me. Simple.
Oh, that's all you want me to do? And how exactly do you want me to do that? There's a lava pit out there.
Ah, yes. Well, it just so happens that we scientists here have needed to go onto the lava also. We therefore developed these devices that you can use too. Here, let me turn it on for you. There! Now all you have to do is pass through this gateway and you will be able to walk onto the lava without being hurt. However, Spyro, the invulnerability that you have to the lava won't last long, but you can come back and recharge if necessary.
Cool! Now it's time to go kick some Riptalk butt!
Good luck to you!
Good lord, that cutscene went on way too long. But as you can see, Super Guard is back. You know, you might recognize this power-up. I think it was in Spyro 2, but I know for a fact it was in Spyro 3. Basically what we have to do is we have to kill these liquid metal Riptalks, ripped straight out of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And you have to freeze them and charge into them because they are not vulnerable to anything else. And then when you do, you will collect this beaker. And so apparently all of his equipment is just beakers because that's all that these guys drop. Also, there's a Dragonfly out here, so you can go grab him real quick. But yeah, that's all there really is to this quest here that we're doing. So yeah, there's really no good reason whatsoever why they should not be able to fit all 3 games on one disc. Realistically, especially since, you know, they're reusing a bunch of models and stuff between the 3 games. It's not like they have to create different models for all 3 or anything. And the Crash games, I feel like, have a lot more level geometry they had to pack into one disc, and they managed to do it just fine. So literally what it sounds like, the way that they're trying to Toys for Bob, I'm sure if this was up to Toys for Bob, this wouldn't be a thing. I'm sure this was, I am 99% certain that this was an Activision idea. So I'm sure that if it were up to the devs, it would not be like this. It's kind of like how I'm sure if it was up to Christian Whitehead, Sonic Mania wouldn't have been 66% recycled content. I'm sure that if it was up to them and not to Sega, they would have made a completely original game, because I'm sure that that's what they really wanted to do. But the higher-ups said, no, we want to play it safe and do this, so then they had to. Kind of similar thing for this, though. I really don't see what Activision has to gain from this, besides... Like, the theory that my friend King K has is that, or a hypothesis, rather, because I do have a degree in 2 fields of social science from an accredited university, so I know better than to call it a theory, is my point. Is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to slowly inch their way to physical releases becoming a voucher for a download, so that you have to pay full price every time to buy it. And I don't know, that sounds right to me. I can't think of any other good reason why they would do this. But it's just like, if this is an issue of we aren't going to be able to have Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 finished in time, you know, you could push it back until November, and I'm sure nobody would mind. Like, this game doesn't need to come out in December. You could release it a month or 2 later, and it would still be there in time for Christmas, you know? So it's like, I don't know what the thought process was.
Great job, Spyro! You found them all! Here, I found this Dragonfly under some broken equipment I found in my lab. You can have it!
Hey, it's Jason.
Yeah, so I don't know what the thought process was there, but you know, as for my opinion, if you want my honest opinion on the situation, it's that I honestly do not really care that much. Because I am more than likely going to get this game on PC eventually, and when that happens, I'm gonna be downloading the game anyway. And I don't know, it's like, obviously in terms of physical games preservation, it's a problem that it only comes with like one game on the disc, you know? So like if 20 years from now somebody wants to play this game, they're not going to be able to do it on console. They won't be able to play Spyro 2 and 3 on console because of that. But the same thing also kind of applies to, oh my god, this guy will not stop interrupting me.
It's Spyro! That bad old thief over there stole something from me. Can you believe that? He stole a biomolecular hologram projector from me. And if you would kindly retrieve it, I will reward you graciously.
Alright, well at least Spyro didn't feel the need to say a bunch of things. So, I used to think this part was really, really bad. Because it is really difficult to get this thief guy here to die in a way that he will not go through a wall. He even walked over those cavemen, which is kind of impressive, but like as you can see, like the way that this is designed, it makes it kind of annoying to like try to catch up with him in time. And if you flame him, he will go through a wall, and then you won't be able to grab what he has. But what I discovered in my practice playthrough is that you don't actually have to collect what he stole, you just have to kill him. And then once you kill him, then you can like talk to the guy and then the minigame will be over, so yeah. Alright, so we are going to kill him like this, away from the walls, so that we can, there we go. See, like he doesn't like actually drop anything. So usually he will clip through the wall, but yeah, so we'll go talk to that guy real quick. And then once we do, we can end the part here. And you all know I might as well get these gems out here as well while we're at it. So we'll talk more about the Reignited trilogy and why I don't. More of my reasoning behind that in a second, but unfortunately we're out of time.
Great job, Spyro! I knew you could do it. Here, take this. It's a dragonfly I found in the jungle.
Hey, it's Bonky.
Alright, so that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys in the next part.